Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Echo, the 5 episode season. Special event, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go briefly into what happened in it, and then where this is going to lead for the MCU, and potential other projects that are going to come out, whether it be this year or the years to come. So, Echo is following Maya Lopez. We learn her backstory and her future in the MCU. So one of the big things here is we get to see the evolution of Maya's people. So it starts off with her people being what I would imagine are cave dwellers, I guess the best way to put it. Mythical type creatures who are inside of a cave that I would imagine is inside the earth, although I can't say for sure. Um, Apparently, their cave was literally caving in. And what happened was the leader of the group, the female, used her powers to save her people and bring her to the surface world, aka Earth. And when they got there, they turned human. They shed their wood slash stone like appearance because it's unclear if it was like wood or if it was stone. But either way, they shed their hide and where they became human. Indigenous people of the area and continued to flourish because of it. The next person in Maya's ancestry was another woman who apparently played a game very similar to what I would call lacrosse, an ancient in an ancient civilization, for sure, where she used her these abilities that were passed down from generation to generation. It looks like where only so few were able to use it. She was able to use it to win the game, to win for her people. And beat the game. Then the next one was a Native American police officer um, from what looks like the time of the Wild West, where cowboys and indigenous people were fighting. Although the difference here being she and her father were Native American police. So it turned into, taught her how to shoot and everything else. And when the time came and her family was under attack by colonizers, she came out and shot every single one of them without a miss at all. Took them all out with ease, using the power of her ancestors, I guess the best way to put it. Then next on the list was Maya's mother, who apparently had the ability to heal people. And that was one of her gifts that she was given as part of the ancestry group. So that being said, there's a reason why I'm going through this is because Maya becomes the echo of her people. So her people echo through her. And because of that, gains their abilities as well. This doesn't happen right away. This happens towards the end of the series, but I just wanted to bring that up because it's a key piece and it kind of gets disjointed in the story if I'm talking about it. Let's be honest. So we see how Maya grew up in Oklahoma. Her mom was killed in a car accident, apparently from a hit because of what her dad did for work. He then took care of the problem, apparently killed the guy that killed his wife, or hired the hit to kill his wife, I should say. And then he and Maya took off to New York. That's where she met Wilson Fisk, which we already kind of knew. We got to see the relationship between her and Fisk blossom and how her father kind of rised into the ranks. We see that Maya never really dealt with her mother's death all that well, and because of it, was using a lot of her anger to take it out on people. We also saw how Maya became a high ranking officer in the Wilson Fisk mafia. She kind of, well, first off, he gave her a lot of pull. A lot of people just thought they were babysitting her until she made her first kill, which was snapping a guy's neck. And that's when she took out a lot of people. That's when Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, came in and she fought him. Now, anybody who knows Daredevil knows that he is not somebody who's going to be dealt with easily, and she was able to hold her own against him. Now, she was not able to defeat him, but he wasn't able to really beat her too badly either. That being said, he did do a lot of damage to her, but not enough to take her out. And Fisk was super proud of all this because he realized that Maya is stronger than what he thought, and he's happy about that. So he then decides to rise her into the ranks, and then we get into obviously Hawkeye and everything else. We lead to the point where she shoots Fisk in the face, and she then heads back to Oklahoma. Now, apparently, it's been 5 months since she shot Fisk in the face. She makes it to Oklahoma, and apparently, there was a hit put out on her because she is the king killer, that people want her dead. She was shot. She has to go find her uncle to help her out. He does so. um, and the world starts to begin. Basically, what happens is she's trying to avoid her family like the plague, and they want pretty much everything. They want actually to be with her because they worry about her. She goes, she tries to take out a trailer, a car train, sorry, specifically, that apparently was part of the Fisk mafia, and she puts a bomb in it and it blows it up. Now, during that time, she damages her prosthetic leg. She has to go to her grandmother's ex boyfriend to ask for a replacement. He gives her a makeshift one while he's getting ready to fix a new one. During all this, apparently, the Fisk militia is put out a bigger hit on her, and people now know that she's in Oklahoma. She then gets attacked by the Fisk militia, where they pretty much, I mean, she takes out a lot of them, but that being said, they were ready to kill her family and her until he gets a phone call, the main guy that was in charge at this point, to stop the order, and apparently it was from Wilson Fisk himself. They get all freed. She leaves again. Her uncle offers his help because, frankly, at this point, he realizes he has no choice in the matter. She then goes back to her place and sees that Wilson Fisk is there. He's trying to convince her to join him. She decides not to kill him, and listens to what he has to say. He then offers her the chance to be the kingpin, offer her everything he's ever had, and gives her the opportunity to go to his hotel and offer everything. Time goes by. She goes to the hotel. She's ready to put a bullet in his head. She decides against it and explains that, and figuring out, obviously, she knows that he killed her father, but also the fact that he killed his own father. And she realizes she didn't want anything to do with this, and she was ready to leave. He explains that he's still going to offer her the chance to work with him, and that he will be leaving on the plane and he wants her there. Well, he gets on the plane waiting for her. She doesn't show, and he finds out from his men that they can't find her anymore. So that's when he orders everyone in her family to be removed. During this time, she gets her new prosthetic leg and is ready to go, just to leave, to be honest with you. She then finds out that her family must be taken by Fisk because they're missing. She then goes to her grandmother's place, finds this um, garb that was created by her grandmother. And what happens here is she starts to see her entire ancestry go through, and her mother explains to her what's going on with her, which is the fact that she is the echo of her people, or her people echo through her. And so she puts on the garb and goes to the main festival, where she has to go toe to toe against Fisk and his men. She finds her cousin and her grandmother being held captive. She uses the abilities of her ancestors to give her two relatives abilities. They take out the men that are holding them with ease, and she takes out all the others. She then uses her newfound magic, I guess the best way to put it, to try to get Fisk to see the damage that he is causing. And he is I don't want to say he's unfazed by it because that's not the right word I want to use, but he is not changed by it. He does not um, change his ways. He does decide not to kill Maya and her family, so he then leaves after seeing the visions that he saw. While her uncle and her cousin take out the rest of the militia, um, which in which time they save basically the people in general. Fisk leaves, and Maya then reunites with her people, specifically her family, and she's looking like she's going to stay there. Now, there's an after credit scene where we see Wilson Fisk hearing about how New York City needs a mayor that's more of a brawler, and that's a big hint to what's going to come in the MCU. So apparently, we're going to see in Daredevil the rise of Kingpin again, this time being in the political spotlight of trying to be mayor of New York City. So we'll have to see what happens there. That being said, this show was very well done. I mean, not the animation, the storyline was great. Um, I wish we got to see more fighting personally, but I do get that this was a story arc for Maya turning into Echo. And I do like the change they made to Echo from the comics to here. Now, in the comics, she has the ability to mimic any movement that she sees, and is an excellent fighter and marksman. So most of that stayed the same. In the comics, she becomes the host of the Phoenix Force, and in this, we're seeing her being more of a host of her people. So we get to see her actually kind of get the abilities of her people and able to use so in well against her opponents. We don't get to see it fully in um, physicality yet, but I'm pretty sure it's something we're going to see in the future. Definitely looking forward to seeing what we're going to have Echo in future MCU projects. I would imagine she's going to stay a street level hero, where we're going to see her probably in Daredevil and other shows like it. But we'll have to wait and see. But for right now, very excited to see where this is going to go. Glad to see that this leads into where we're going to see Wilson Fisk in New York City against Matt Murdock. Just overall looking forward to seeing what's coming next. But let me know what you guys thought about this series in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.